Hi, thanks for joining me for this episode of Dyslexia Solutions. It's a little bit different episode because today I'm going to share with you how to assess kids for dyslexia. Who's doing it? The schools still aren't stepping up and assessing the kids. In fact, the schools are sending the parents to the doctor's office. Well, the doctor's offices could hire us, but the doctor's office are sending people back to the schools to do the assessments. And the schools just aren't making it a priority because once they assess the kids for dyslexia, they don't have their teachers trained to work with those kids. So the mandate says we're supposed to assess for dyslexia and provide intervention. And this is now ed code across our nation. So what I'm offering you are some classes that you can take to learn how to assess kids for dyslexia. So who am I speaking to? Parents, you're not the ones that are going to assess your kids, but you know your kids' teachers. So ask them, do they need some training to learn how to assess for dyslexia? And then paraprofessionals, thank you for reaching out to me. I have many of you who are interested in this because you may know some of the tests, but you want to learn the other tests. And also, if you need a refresher on any of this, I'm your coach because we all need coaches, whether it's for health, for fitness, for parenting, for grandparenting, for spiritual things. And this is a professional opportunity to be your coach. Let me be your coach and train you. So I have these tests. I'll tell you what they are. They're going to be uploaded onto Promise Christian University platform. So what you're going to do is sign up. I have a tuition fee of only $375 to be trained. So that's per test. So if you want to get trained in one, $375. If you want to get trained in a second one, it's another $375 and so forth. I'm going to send you a link and a code to log into the university platform. And then you're going to have a link to purchase your curriculum or your testing protocol, whether you may already have it. That's why I'm doing it this way. If you don't have it and you need it, you need to have a master's degree for the test that's called the Peabody Picture Vocabulary and for the Gray Oral Reading and for the CTOPP. Those are the three main tests that are nationally normed, and you're going to require the publisher requires you have a master's degree because you will have been exposed to assessing kids, and you know the seriousness of misdiagnosing them and entering wrong information. So these tests are very specific. You have to be very accurate, and they can be very tricky. And when I first started using the PPVT, I had a friend that I would call to help me with the scoring of it because you want to be sure you're scoring it correctly. So the Gray Oral Reading tests for reading rate, reading accuracy, which is the timing and then how many errors. And then you combine that for fluency. And then there's reading comprehension. And so that is already up to the GORT 5. The Peabody Picture Vocabulary is up to the PPVT 4. And that shows pictures and you read words, and the child has to associate the correct picture with the word you say, but they're not reading. So this is a real good indicator of your child's intelligence level, because the schools look for a 2-year discrepancy between the intelligence and the reading ability. So if that 2-year discrepancy is there, that's what makes them eligible for special ed. And it's a qualifier for dyslexia with this third component, the CTOPP. That stands for a comprehensive test of phonological processing. And this was recommended when I was in my Orton Gillingham practicum to learn the CTOPP. I learned it myself, and it took me a while to get the flow of it. And once you're doing it a lot, you can teach others. So I know I'm ready to teach you how to do the CTOPP. Those 3 tests are called nationally normed, okay? They're used across the nation, and they throw out the high, They throw off the low students, and they're looking at the average students. How would those students have answered these questions? So then there's two tests that are not nationally normed, but they were recommended by the Orton-Gillingham Society. And that is the Gallestel Ellis, which tests decoding or reading. And you'll see what specific combination of vowel teams or blends or grammar and phonics rules the child struggles with. And then there's the Barnell Loft diagnostic spelling test. So that gives a spelling test and lets you know what those spelling challenges are. That's a lot of where I find the dysgraphia when I assess kids. So those two are actually online. You can just buy them yourself. And if you are, not needing a coach and you want to see if you could figure them out on your own, go to it. You can do that. And they're not expensive at all. So, but I want to coach you. I want to help you so that you could see how they all tie together. And I'm also going to bundle those two with my own dyslexia pre-screen. So with my dyslexia pre-screen, I took a lot of words and I just changed the first letter. And I have some videos where I show that. So I changed the first letter. Instead of mouse or house, what if I put P, house? Will a child know how to sound out the word pouse with O-U-S-E? And then I have spelling sentences because kids with dyslexia will add or omit letters and syllables. And this gives you a real good indication of their memory, as I'm thinking of the word, of their memory, because you'll have a long sentence. I have different sentences for the second through fourth graders, and I have other sentences for fifth through adult. And some of the sentences you're going to have to break up into small parts because they don't remember a full sentence. But this also gives you an indication of how they write. So these all together, it's the three with a bundle. So I'm offering 4 different assessment times and dates. So how I do this, I'm going to upload it on the Promise Christian University platform, and you're going to sign up for $375, whatever test you want to be trained in. And then I send you a code. And then when we have multiple people signing up to be trained, we're going to select a date that's mutually agreeable. And if I just have 1 or 2 at different times signing up, we'll just coordinate something to have you get your own private training for $375. So I hope you join me. And I hope you share this video with a teacher and with others, because other parents who have struggling kids. We need to step it up and help our kids with dyslexia. Now, I do have a disclaimer in my website, and the disclaimer basically says these tools are not a diagnosis as you would get from a doctor or a psychologist, because you're going to pay $4,000 for a psychologist assessment. This is what I say is this is informational education assessment that is done for the purpose of planning a course of tutoring, accommodation, and support for dyslexic people. They're not intended to provide any clinical or legal diagnosis. If you need a formal diagnosis of any learning disability, you must consult with a psychologist, a neurologist, a child psychologist, a developmental pediatrician, or anyone who holds a PhD. So again, I'll repeat, I'm offering 4 different training courses, the CTOPP, the GORT 5, the PPVT 4, the Gallestel Ellis, and the Barnell Loft, and the Cintron dyslexia pre-screen. Look for the link below. Now, I'm going to have the link also on my website, dys-sol.com. So dys-sol.com. It'll be right at the top of my website, and you can look it over and think about it, pray about it, sign up. I know you're going to really be blessed because I know how to teach assessments, and this will be easy for you to learn and get a refresher if that's what you need. So thank you, and I will see you soon in the classroom. Bye-bye now.